Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stream. Yes, it's Friday once again. Funny how that happens. Anyhow, welcome to the stream. Yes, it's more Anarchy Online this evening. This will not be a long stream. If you haven't guessed by the sound of my voice, I have a cold. It's not the virus or anything like that. It's just a regular cold, and I feel a bit rough. I'm buoyed up on ibuprofen. Seems to work for me with colds. Stops the shivers and everything. So, other than that, I feel pretty good. So, we're going to stream anyway, because, god damn it, I want to. So apologies for the voice sounding the way it does. Not much I can do until I am infection-free, I guess. Feels like I'm coming through it now. It was pretty bad Wednesday, had to work Thursday, felt really rough at work on Thursday, but there we are. But, you know, things go on. Mathematica, welcome to the stream. Yes, indeed. And you're welcome to the Carlos Has a Cold stream, as you can probably tell by the sound of my voice. Extra gravelly today, or something. I don't know. I just sound ill to me. But yeah, there we go. Right, that's all the social media's done. Let's go to the live screen. There we are. And again, we'll do the same over on YouTube. There we are. I've got a live over there. Right. Okay, my monitor's third monitor's moved. 1 second. Yeah, that's better. I don't know. That got moved. That was annoying. Anyway, right. We had done all the Inferno quests, I think, or most of them. One who talks with the past. Even if I don't have answers for you at this point, you should never be afraid to answer the question. The question, Assault on the Anarchy. Yeah, so we haven't done it yet. We've still got more to do there. But in the meantime, let's go back to Rubicar and pick up some dailies. And yes, even though I have a cold, I'm still having a beer. Sod it. It's Friday. Oh, it is cold. Anyway, you're very good health, everyone. Chuck D, Slancher, Skull, Skal, and all the other variants. What have we got here? Oh, right, okay. 4 holes, graffiti. An almost boring mission at this point. I would like an elite assignment. Prisoner mission, please. I'm very close to a level here, which I'm kind of glad about. So when was the last stream? Was it Monday or Sunday? I can't remember now. I think it was Monday, and we did the Grace giveaway, didn't we? I get another alien daily mission. Monday. Thank you, Toast on Beans, and welcome on into the stream. I think I need these 2 things for later. What's this? Novadil and do not need. We'll take that. Goodbye. Right, let's nip to Tia and see if we can't get some buffage. It was Monday, yeah, I couldn't remember. In my downtime, I have kind of messed about playing the Oblivion remaster. They've done a good job with it. It still has the jank of most Bethesda games, with the added jank of Unreal 5 transversal stutter and stuff like that. But it runs at such a high frame rate on my system, I don't really feel it, so it seems okay. I've seen all kinds of stutter fixer mods that don't actually seem to work. Brilliant game. Yeah, I think honestly, as a game, I think it's a more interesting game than Skyrim if you stick to the main quest and stuff like that. Whereas with Skyrim, it's a kind of build your own adventure game. You don't necessarily have to play the main quest. You know what I mean? Now, I didn't notice if if on Monday the freelancers was up or not. I think it's an off week, or it just hasn't. They haven't spawned, or whatever. I don't know if it's a failure to spawn or just they didn't. I'm not seeing the arbiter, so I'm thinking no. Let's go have a look. Yeah, I enjoy it. I've done... What have I done? The remaster. So obviously not the main quest. Associate Mages Guild. So I've done the Mages Guild quest, even though I know about 3 spells. I made a start on Shivering Isles, but I don't really like it. But yeah, no, I've done... Yeah. Did the Thieves Guild, Mages Guild, Fighters Guild, the Arena. What else? I haven't done any of the Dark Brotherhood ones yet. I'm sure I will. But yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, you with the earlier Elder Scrolls games, it felt like Morrowind, Oblivion. It felt like you could just join every guild and do every quest for the guild. But with Skyrim, it felt a bit wrong because I started playing Skyrim when it came out, back in 2011, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna join. Where's the Fighters Guild? Oh, it's the companions in the Skyrim universe. So I joined the companions, do the full quest line for them and a bunch of missions for them, get better gear and whatnot, and then thought, right, I'll do Thieves Guilds next. So try and figure it out, think, oh yeah, I know, I'll go to Riften. Seems to be a scum and villainy kind of a place. I do the first couple of jobs for them, and I just felt like, nah, the companions would hate this if they knew what I was doing. And it just felt wrong for the character. It really did. I just felt like, no. And that meant I couldn't do the Assassin's Guild. So I did a separate playthrough where I never joined the companions. And I did Thieves Guild, then the Dark Brotherhood instead. It's weird, isn't it? But it doesn't feel like you can't do both in... because the Thieves Guild in Oblivion feels a bit more like Robin Hood or something, I don't know how to explain it. Can I sneak these guys still? Did I spend IP last time? Think I did. Except in those. Yeah, I think I can sneak the whole ship up to the room we need. It's going to make more sense to do that, to be honest. Yeah, the faces and everything in the remaster are way better. People actually look like human beings in that. And then the like all the textures and gear that people are wearing is massively better looking. So all in all, yeah, and it's not even full ticket price for the game. And it's free on Game Pass if you have Game Pass. I have Game Pass because my son has an Xbox and we pay for Game Pass, and we have done since, we got that. We thought, oh, well, yeah, that's cheaper than buying games every month for him. So we just got Game Pass for him. So then you install the app and log into it on a PC, and you've got the same access to all the games that will actually run on PC. which is nearly all of them, pretty much, I think. Like, I tried Atomfall. I probably wouldn't have bought it, but because I could get it on Game Pass, I got to play it and thought it was a brilliant game, and I'm keeping an eye on it to see if they do anything more with it, you know. So I'm not sure you really could do DLC for it, but maybe they can. I don't know. You know, because it comes to a natural conclusion, but, you know. Waiting for Baldur's Gate to come to Game Pass. I'm sure it will eventually. It seems like most games do. Will it run on Xbox? I'm sure it could, couldn't it? It'll run on Xbox Series X. That's a pretty powerful console now. I mean, I've seen the textures on it. They look pretty impressive. Runs fine on the fat PS5. Yeah, they're pretty. There's not much between them graphically or in real power terms, is there? Razil, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I mean, you can play a lot of games at 4K on that Xbox X. I watch my son do it, and a lot of them run at like 60 FPS, the shooters he plays and stuff. And sure, the graphics will look better on a PC, or a high-end PC at least. It doesn't run well on Xbox. It maybe not, yeah, I don't know. I've only played it on PC, and it runs great on my particular rig, but then again, I don't notice transversal stutter. I don't feel it as well as some people. It really bothers them. I think it's happening, but I'm just not feeling it. I could be wrong. Yeah, I saw my son was there playing it, and then he went back to Flight Sim. He loves that. He's just doing all the achievement hunting and that. And then he's playing GTA 5 a lot lately. And yeah, he plays all kinds of weird and wonderful games. He plays a lot of PvP, FPS shooter games. He seems to really enjoy those. Well, I say enjoy. You hear him swearing quite often, but... Red Dusk? Oh. Red Dust. What does Red Dust do? "65 seconds. If active special will decrease your opponent's initiatives by a huge amount." That sounds good. Let's pop that there as a use case for, you know, use when needed kind of deal. What level is this to now? Can't see. Slightly cut off from the stream. That shouldn't be cut off there. I know it's tiny, but yeah. Level 210. It's cut off. Is it? In what way? Oh, okay. Thanks for that. That means the display capture's not right. Somehow. Should be perfect. Capture window. Screen 1. Done. Let's just check the broadcast settings on then for Twitch. Where the hell is it on Twitch? Advanced. Can see it now. It must have been slightly oversized then. Slight by. Oh god. Oh, what have we done? Okay, tell you what. I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to... Wait there. Add it back. Yeah, it was, I'm not sure why it went weird. It went weird after some sort of an update. But thanks for letting me know that. I would not have known it was doing that. Otherwise, you know, because the monitor, the fallback for the stream that I'm looking at over here is like that by that on a little screen. So, yeah, I wouldn't have spotted that. You didn't receive a beta key for June? Nope. Frizgun Grim, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it must have been cut off for everyone, but not everybody noticed. Or I certainly didn't notice anyway. Right, talk to Warden Istanis. Let's go. YouTube capture seems fine to me. No cut edges compared to normal. Yeah. Thanks for that, Lars, but that makes sense because I have OBS broadcasting to YouTube and Streamlabs broadcasting to Twitch. So I'm running two different softwares to broadcast to both. I feel better about that than trying to use some third-party tool to broadcast to two different websites that want to charge you money for the privilege. It's like, no. Plus, I can change, like, I can broadcast to YouTube at, 50 megabyte a second, 1440p, 60 FPS. So you get much better image quality. And then I just have to go to maxing out Twitch at 8 megabytes a second at 1080p 60. So I'm glad whatever happened with Streamlabs that time didn't happen to OBS as well, because that would have just made me cry. Oh god, I've got to fix 2 sets of software now. Yeah, it just wouldn't have been good. Did I pick up the right one? Kill the diseased prisoner. I did. Yeah, so the frame size was wrong. I just changed it to capture that monitor. So whatever is on the monitor is captured and it auto sized it. That seems to have fixed it. So that's good. Thanks for letting me know that. I appreciate that. I'd rather know that it's gone wrong than people say nothing and just go, oh my god, he hasn't even noticed it's gone wrong. Yeah, because when I'm looking at the stream across on my small monitors, that's what I'm looking at. And so you don't always notice things, Do you have any graphical mods apart from the new engine? Yes, but all I'm using is SMAA. I just use a different type of anti-aliasing. Because FXAA blurs textures and stuff. I don't like it. I mean, that can be something you want. You know, like if you use FXAA in vanilla Skyrim, the distant terrain looks better because it's sort of blurred. So you don't see the pop-in as badly and stuff like that. I've got other mods I could use, like RTGI, with ambient occlusion and stuff, but I keep it fairly vanilla. That's basically it. I've got a video that's dedicated to exactly how I have the beta engine set up. No, I've never received a beta key, and I applied for the beta as soon as it was announced, but never got a key. I've got friends that have told me that they got their beta key quite easily. But I've not had one, so I can only assume either Funcom aren't happy with me, or it's just RNG, and if you get one, you get one. If you don't, you don't. I will be playing it this weekend, though, in some form or another. If I get into the open beta, if I don't get into that, I probably will never play that game. Is all I'm going to say. Because then I'll feel like, okay, you're boycotting me for some reason. Or you don't want me near your new game. So I'm not going to play your new game. But I would think that was kind of weird for them to do that. I wouldn't think that was the case. Yeah, the textures aren't actually any different with the beta engine. Essentially, the beta engine just adds a bunch of much better looking lighting as opposed to better textures or anything like that. Two out of four, same. I have a friend who just said that he had to agree to an NDA about the beta. Yeah, that's pretty normal. Most betas will ask you to electronically sign an NDA. That's perfectly normal. So you've got to remember, it's work in progress, so the company that are making it don't want people getting the wrong impression about whatever it is they're making. So, yeah, it's pretty par for the course that they would ask that. Now, that's not odd, put it that way. Have you enjoyed any other fun comms? I tried Secret World. Didn't really gel with it. I tried the first Conan game they did when it came out. Didn't really like it. Yeah, so no, not really. It's just non-disclosure agreement. If you test this software, you must agree not to publicly share any information about it. That's, I mean, what's in the NDA depends on the NDA itself. I signed NDAs working for different companies. You know, they're just protecting their own interests. Is all it is, really. NZ Arcadian, welcome to the stream. Yeah, well, their NDA must be, okay, you can now stream the game or something, because people are streaming it, but I don't have access. Habemus Pam Am, and he is American. Yes, the new Pope. Not sure that was a good or really bad idea. He spent most of his life in South America. I don't know. Well, officially, he's God's choice, isn't he? So, there you go. Yeah, but people are streaming Dune, aren't they? People are actually streaming it, so there must be something in the agreement that says you can stream it now. Where you can share videos about it, because there seem to be plenty of them. I saw a funny thing in a headline. They said it's the first American Pope in 2,000 years. Oh, you mean the age of Christianity? The first American Pope in 2,000 years. Just say the first American Pope. Christianity's existed for 2,000 and 25 years or whatever. Hence the date. And also America didn't, modern America, the USA, didn't exist 2,000 years ago. I just found that quite funny. The first American Pope in 2,000 years. Implying that there may have been an American Pope 2,000 years ago. What? How is that even a thing? To my point, while I'm ambivalent whether this was a good idea, I don't know. My father was Catholic. I was raised in Catholic schools and whatnot, but I'm kind of agnostic, really. So I think it's more a political choice, the new Pope, etc., versus anything else, really. Surely, he's kind of the figurehead for the Catholic Church, so he's been chosen for whatever reasons the Catholic Church feel they should have someone like that as the head of the church. Yeah, it just made me laugh when I saw that headline. First Catholic Pope for 2,000 years. I was like, okay. That headline implies there has been one before. Okay, so which Native American became Pope? I don't remember this. I've been living in Spain for 15 years. I know a lot and interact with a lot of people from Latin America. Zidane, I always pronounce the name wrong, is Colombian. I stopped saying I'm American, especially in Spanish, because I just say I'm from the US, because technically everyone from Canada and to Argentina is from America. Well, yeah, geographically, you're correct. Yeah, actually, America is it's a connected continent, yeah. Of two halves, effectively. It depends, you could be talking plate tectonics, or you could be talking geography, or you could be talking borders. They're all different, but they're all valid. Now, saying American feels to me like saying I'm European. Well, I would say I was European, but I would also say I'm Welsh. I come from a specific part of Europe, and Britain is part of Europe, whether politically or whatever. It's geographically part of Europe. And it used to be, geologically, it's part of Europe. It's only the sea level that separates us. Prior to the end of the last ice age, Britain was directly connected to mainland Europe. Nah, nothing of interest for me there. Where we go next? to the grid. Back to the warden. Callous, for Christ's sake. What? Pretty sure every European country has a love-hate relationship with their neighbours. Why? Why are you sure about that? There have been battles between them. Click the link.
Zaida.
Zaida. Okay. Oh god, it's the terrible voice. I'm doing a deep voice guy. Please never link me anything whoever that is makes ever again. Even if the pronunciation is right, because they're going, Zaida, I'm putting on this voice. This is how I sound all the time. No, you don't. And you can tell. Right, I'll be back in a minute. I'm getting another beer. Zaida. Oh dear. Yeah. Well, it's difficult to know how anything is pronounced just from the letters you're presented with, because English has a habit of never following its own rules. There we go, 211. Okay. Let's do the base abilities. Okay. Melee, we'll keep pumping in. A bit more comp lit, I think. When healing, we'll max out heal those two. Yeah, it's 30. It's like 30 something percent, 28% French, and not even like modern French, old kind of Viking French, Normandy French. Uses loan words like Schadenfreude. Yeah, it does. And then you hear sayings that are supposedly rules for English grammar and spelling, and they don't actually work. Recently learned what pronotactics are. Once you learn what they are for each... Okay. So how letters sound in different languages. It's a branching phonology that deals with the restrictions in a language on the permissible combinations of phonemes, rhymes. Great phone voice sound, language specific. In Japanese, consonant clusters do not occur. Yeah. You're into sort of quite deep linguistics here. All syllables have a nucleus, no Germanic constants, no onset, no sibility. Yeah, okay. If it's, I'm doing a voice guy, I'm telling you off.
Have you ever noticed how Spanish speakers will pronounce...
Never share videos like that with me. I hate them. Have you ever noticed how I've got way too much bloody energy for this video? I fucking hate that. Oh. I don't care if the information is good, the tone of voice and the presentation just instantly, it's like fingers in a chalkboard. I hate it. Listen to my just run a marathon, breathless delivery of this simple fact that I'm trying to make sound more interesting, like a really bad TV ad. It's a video for Zoomers. I don't know who the video is for, but I can tell you now, it's not for me. It reminds me of the Futurama parody ad. Intergalactic balloon man. I have a surplus balloon man, and we're going to be. You remember it? Yeah, it just reminds me of that, and I kind of hate it. So yeah. Oh, perk. Okay, that's maxed. Can't do disharmony. Can't do spiritual master. Acrobat is done. Careful in battle. We can do another careful in battle. There we go. And then the next one's 212. Okay. It's a video for Zoomers, yeah. It's also vertical video, which I hate. You've held your camera up the wrong way. You know, YouTube could do a survey. People on PC monitors that never ever watch shorts because they look stupid on a 16:9 monitor. Oh, all of them. Yeah, no one wants to. I hate the mobile phone, 9:16 format is just. Can you imagine watching a movie like that? You would just. Yeah, you just wouldn't, would you? You'd be like, I'm not doing that. I can't watch a movie like this. Well, I feel like that if it's a 30-second short video or whatever they call them now. Just wait and they do. Well, I'm not going to get if a cinema goes, oh, now in 9:16. I'm not going to that cinema, and I'm sure as shit not watching that movie. That's just horrible. Before YouTube introduced shorts, people that uploaded vertical video looked like idiots because they had these huge black bars either side of it. YouTube's tried to disguise the fact that there's huge black bars on either side of the video, but they are still there. Imagine your neck on front row seats. Yeah, no thanks. You never get the front row seats are like worst seats ever in cinema, usually. And this is why most of the movies I watch now, I watch at home on a TV at an ideal viewing angle and vertical plane for my eyes. because the viewing experience is so much better. Basically, most languages don't allow certain combinations of consonants. Spanish, for example, doesn't have the S plus another consonant, so they put an E in front of the S. English, in turn, doesn't like PS and TS combo that is common in Greek. So we basically mispronounce psychology or tsunami by dropping... Yeah, but French does that. French graveyarded a bunch of consonants. So when you see that little accent over a letter, it means that there was another letter after it, but it's no longer used. That's what that thing means. And once you do that, you realise hospital in French is hospital in English. Oh, look, it's in normal format. Yeah, this guy is about a million times easier to watch and understand. But there you go. And also the video is really good. And he is a linguist, so it helps.
I'm going to teach you how to read French words without knowing any French.
And he does. You watch this video and you can do it. I'm not even joking. He manages it. So, yeah. And notice how he's not just run a marathon and frantically trying to make you, watch his video in a very cringy, desperate way. And Japanese never allows for consonants to be put together. That's where they end up doing those extremely weird mispronunciations. Okay. Yeah, and you know what? If you can have... people say, oh, if you could have one skill, that is doable without being superhuman, but would be quite remarkable, would be able to speak and understand every language. I'd love that ability. That guy is a news anchor at DW Dutchwell English Service. Is he? I don't know. He makes solid content with reliable information in it. That's what I know. Yeah, I'm sure he can speak French and German and whatnot. So, who's the actor that played Aragon? I can't think of his real name now. But yeah, he plays... He can speak God knows how many languages. It's scary. And I mean, fluently speak them well, Lars Vindal, message redacted. Or retracted, okay. Viggo Mortensen, yeah. You can watch videos of him speaking different languages, like the interviewers introducing him in Spanish or something. And then says, so Vigo, blah, 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 blah. And he answers him in the same language that he's just been speaking to the audience in. The audience are like, woo! And then he just does the whole thing in their language, comfortably. He's not struggling for words. He just answers he seems to speak fluently, like a native, I could happily, just speak this language for the rest of the day or the month or whatever. A Norwegian man who's been living in France was in a radio program where he told a story about a situation in a French airport. The desk couldn't pronounce a single letter of his last name. Well, yeah. He lives in Spain now. He was accidentally interviewed on a train station the other day when they had... Oh, yeah, the blackout. Yeah, we saw that. Because the reporter didn't recognise him. Oh, that happens a lot. There's a famous clip of some Zoomer VTuber of some description bumps into Christopher Walken and asks him what he does for a living. And Christopher Walken just humours him. Doesn't say, I'm Christopher Walken. Just says, I'm an actor. And he goes, oh, how's that working out as a job for you? It's Christopher fucking Walken. And he goes, oh, it's going pretty well. And all that. Because you can see Christopher Walken realises the guy's got no idea who he is. And he's cool with it. He's like, this'll be fun. He just sort of like, yeah, I do get work from time to time, and it's always rewarding. Theatre's my first love, but movies and stuff and TV, that's always good as well. Pays the bills, and the guy's like, oh, cool, man. Has no idea he's talking to a Hollywood superstar like Christopher Walken. I just found that hilarious. Have you not seen that clip? It's really good. I mean, literally, unless it's a setup, and I don't believe it is, he genuinely has no idea who he's talking to. Acted a lot in Spanish. He did really good historical. Yeah, he speaks Spanish and the kind of other Spanish, Catalan form of Spanish. I don't know if I'm describing it correctly, but because I don't know the political situation with all that, but yeah, he did some sort of conference-y hey look, it's someone from Lord of the Rings thing, and he addressed them all in however they speak in that region. I don't know if it's a whole different form of Spanish or something. I don't know. All the character combinations were silent because of the grammar rules. The only part of it that could have been pronounced had a special Norwegian character in it they didn't know how to pronounce. Yeah, that's reasonable. For someone non-Nordic, I always take a flying guess. I'm usually wrong. Am I really getting beat up by a bloody coal lizard? That's embarrassing. Am I on full death? Because I wasn't that one time. Yeah, there's certain characters and letters in Norwegian that don't exist outside of Norwegian. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we're gonna go and deal with the lizard, because the lizard is effing annoying and always will be. Toast on beans. Time to admit defeat on this toon build. There's no such thing as defeat. What are you speaking of? Gonna die. Died. Catalan is about as Spanish as Norwegian and Swedish are the same language. They're mutually intelligible and closer to each other than other Latin languages. They're very much different languages. Catalan is very much like what a French person pretended to be a native Spanish speaker. Right. Well, there you go. See, I wouldn't know that. Now I do. Well, whatever it is, he pulled it off. Because they all applauded when he addressed them in that language. With their pronunciations and everything else. There's no defeat in a character build, except Assault Rifle Nanomage Shade, which took 17 levels, and then we admitted defeat. But apart from that, I can't speak Spanish or French, so I really wouldn't. I would really struggle to be able to tell you the difference. In fact, I probably couldn't, but there you are. There's a difference between South Wales Welsh and North Wales Welsh. I can tell you that. They are quite different in how they sound, even if they are written the same way. They sound like two different languages, and the way South Wales sounds versus North Wales is really, really different. Like North Walian, if we say the word forward, we say forward. In South Wales, it sounds like the A's are E's, and they say forward. It's weird. It sounds weird, but when you hear the two accents. Having a conversation in English, you can hear the difference. It's bizarre. And the way we pronounce Welsh words is different as well. So, even though we are technically speaking the same language, it doesn't actually feel like we are speaking the same language. Oh no. I didn't click join team, so I missed a bunch of buffs. The tiny scale that we have, yeah, it is. I mean, the distance between North Wales and South Wales wouldn't cover a quarter of Texas, but it's completely different. Absolute sober. I still bother this buff spot thing. It bothers you? Why would it bother you? It's a fantastic free service offered by a player. I'm not sure where the negative is. Spain has 4 official languages: Castellanian, Spanish, Catalan, Gallego, it's like half Portuguese Spanish, Basque, which is completely unrelated to anything, and 4 official regional dialects ranging from Octanian, Arcean to hybrid Arabic spoken in Centaur and Meliar. There is plenty. Okay, let's hear them then. What are the negatives for somebody providing a buff bot? I'm curious what they could be. Honestly. Hey, have this free thing. The ULA first. Oh, automated gameplay. Okay. In the service of other people, not yourself, but okay. And in what way does it negatively impact the game? At this point, nothing, because there is nobody. I'm playing. I'm not nobody. I'm a person. But this automation has killed the game. Disagree there. Lack of any development, bug fixes, interest by Funcom in developing the game, society and gamers as a whole moving on, has killed the game. People giving away free buffs on an automated system? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think you're going to find anyone that agrees with that opinion, absolutely sober, but I mean, it's your opinion. I mean, it's valid. But you're going to be in the minority. So, okay, let's get the straw man out of the way. So you think this is now free for all and automated shit out? No. What the hell are you talking about? What does this free for all and automate shit out? What are you talking about? You remember the Chinese ingot farmers? Yeah. They weren't automated. They were employees. Oh, you think the automation is taking away jobs from... I don't think you can make that equivalency. I don't see it. I don't agree that that's correct. I mean, I accept your opinion on it. I just don't think you've managed to back it up or validate it in any way. Why is it not correct? Because it's not. It's not correct because your equivalencies are false. It's not correct because it's not detrimental to the game. It's a benefit to players. It costs them nothing. It keeps more players playing because they can easily get buffs. One of the biggest complaints about a low population game is getting the buffs you need from other players in a multi-class game. It's the same thing. No, it is not, and you have not demonstrated that. I just did. No, you didn't. That's what you seem to fail to understand, is no, you haven't. People providing a free service of their own accord is not detrimental to the whole. Now, I could buff all those buffs myself by logging in a second account and doing it, and in fact I did, because one of the buffs I wanted wasn't available. How is this detrimental to the game in some way? Do you think they're making any money by doing what they're doing? Because they're not. Ingot farmers were completely different. They farmed ingots, sold them to vendors, and then sold that money on their websites for real money. So there's no equivalency whatsoever between them and the ingot farmers. There isn't. They were doing it for personal financial gain. Whereas someone running a buff bot is saying, hey guys, I know it's quiet in the game now. Here's somewhere you can go and get the buffs you need. There's no equivalency. Apples and oranges. And do you with stream something different? Do I stream other games? Yeah, now and again. I mean, you're just not going to... The case you're making is it's not a winnable case, and it doesn't stand on its own merits. So I don't get why you're defending it. You get dollars here as well. How? You provide... okay, how much did I pay for those buffs? You watch me get them. How much did I pay for them? You watch me do it. How much did I pay for them? Enlighten me, because I don't remember giving any money or credits away. There's no equivalency to gold farmers. Gold farmers take away mobs from other people that would otherwise have access to them, and then take the items from that activity, sell them to vendors to generate credits, and then sell those credits. They're called gold farmers. They're as old as MMOs. But there's no equivalency between them and someone running a buff bot. There's no transaction in it. It's like, here, have it for free. Enjoy the game. Glad I could be of service. You know what I'm saying? There's just no equivalency in what you're saying. Your argument is invalid. It just doesn't work. It's probably detrimental to the AO revenue stream, because before the buff bots I was playing for multiple subs so I could buff my own tunes. I still am. Because those tunes only buff you. They don't hold your hand through difficult quests and stuff, which is what I do with my 220s. I mean, what's your alternative then? That people should wait around to get buffs when they could be just playing the game? Do you think that's a really good sales pitch for that idea? Because I don't think it is. I think most people would like to just get buffed and go. Yeah, someone created a buff bot on the 2019 server as well. So those are paid accounts on that. AO2 by community. Yeah, well, AO2 by community is intellectual property theft, unfortunately. AO2 is just never going to happen. We don't live in the same world as we did in 2001. People don't have the same expectations. Companies don't run the same way. Game companies now are about making profits as quickly as possible from any given title. So what are we going to do? What do you mean, what are we going to do? We're not game devs. We can't make a game. We can't force people to enjoy a form of gaming that isn't being made anymore. It's not being made anymore because corporate boards go, well, how much money is this going to be? AI is a piece of shit. It's been massively oversold to people. It's become a massive catchphrase. But what it can actually do, I mean, ChatGPT is a plagiarism engine. And then another country came up with a better version of it after 6 months because they plagiarized the plagiarism engine. And then the shares tanked. I just thought that was hilarious. mean, AI is essentially automated clickbait. Yeah, you can make... I mean, games, when they made AO, they made games to make a good game. That's what they did. They said, you know, why are you making the game this way? Because we want the game to be this way and to be interesting to play and to have these, you know, interactions, facility, and whatever else. But games like that don't get the development money anymore. You know, they go to the corporate board and they go, "You're making an MMO. Oh, so is it like WoW?" Well, no. Well, change it till it's like WoW, and then we might give you some money. That's it. Is there a site that tells me if an MP pet is rollable? Yes. Several. And all the guild bots can do that for you as well. What's the name of the nano? Yeah, people quite often come up with we're going to make the next AO, and it's like, well, yeah, okay, cool, but, you know, don't get caught, because you don't own it. Yeah, it's just AI plagiarism. That's it, yeah. That's the thing with AI. Everyone, oh, it's gonna... No. You're listening to the sales pitch a bit too much there. Superior frenzy embodiment. Okay. So if I just go into my guild bot and I go... I think it's Nano, name of Nano, RK Mob, and SL Static. So, not rollable. The community is clearly the best ever. They could do better, do this better. Well, could they? Are they, you know, are they software engineers? Do they know how to write games? Do they work in the relevant fields? You know, the sentiment to do something is not as functionally useful as the ability and knowledge to do a thing. They are. Yeah, there's like some version of Helpbot that would tell you. So basically it's saying Rubicar Mob SL Static. And they truly are. Okay. Yeah, the other site to check is if you go to... Well, AO Items doesn't work anymore, unfortunately. It's now AO Galaxy, so you go to Martial Artist... Scroll, and you can look at every... Well, I'll do this. I'll give you the link there on Twitch. There you go. So you can go through all this and find out whether it's you get it from a quest, whether it's mission rollable, Rubicar store-bought, or whether it's you know, Dynaboss. So what was it? It was... You did say, and I did it. Superior Frenzy Embodiment. Okay. Martial Artist, sorry, was on the wrong one. Wondered where the pets were. It's like every possible nano related to that class. Superior Frenzy Embodiment. Shadowland Static as a Shadow Crystal. There you go. Tells you how you get it right there. So it's not a rollable one though, apparently. So you want a dungeon, 146, so Adonis, probably, maybe Sheol. It'll drop in there. Superior's the same. But, you know, you've got those, but also you could get Summon Demon. You know, so up to you how you do it. Yeah, creating a game, it yeah. But there's nothing, you know, no company, you know, no group of volunteers can do that because they don't own the IP. We got Stalker 2 because the company was defunct and the old devs said, yeah, we'll do it. So they knew how to make the Stalker games because they'd made the other ones and came together to make one anyway. Yeah, the gaming companies are like, no, get people to the highest level as quickly as possible. Get them into the cash shop for cosmetics that are useless. Chinese owns this. No, they don't. Huh? Yeah, okay, so here's some information for you. Norwegian government owns a share in it, and it can never be sold or to any other property unless the Norwegian government agrees, nor can it be shut down unless they agree. Because when Funcom made their first games, they took investment from the Norwegian government to do so. Now, I know Tencent bought a ton of shares in Funcom, which is what Tencent do. They don't control the games or how the games operate unless the games are shipped to China and the Chinese government doesn't like something about the game. And then they use their shareholder worth at the guidance of that government to influence the development of a game. It's not owned by any Chinese people, country, or anything else. Tencent are a conglomerate that invest in various companies. A lot of them are gaming companies. Yeah, how could I invest in it? Buy shares. Tencent Holdings acquired a 29% minority stake in Funcom in September of 2019, making it the largest shareholder in the company, but not the other, you know, the other 71% are not owned by any Chinese company or people. They don't own the game. Do you understand how that works? They own 29% of the shares in the company. You don't understand how that works. Okay, which is bigger, 29 or 61? Or 71, rather. Which one's bigger? Stuart Hull, happy Friday. Fish on the grill. What? Reeb in hand, okay. So who owns Funcom? Funcom own Funcom. Shareholders own certain percentages of shares. Anything from 0.1% to 29%. Yeah, so Funcom own Funcom. There's a shock. Yeah, I think maybe, you know, don't believe everything you read on Reddit. +++ Ath zero discussion. What? Just basic 101 economics, dude. They own a 29% minority share. Doesn't mean they own the entire company. That's not how that works. Okay, so there's 1,000 people, okay? And they all buy a cow together, okay? And one of those people owns 29% shares of the cow. Do they therefore own the cow? No, they do not. The cow is owned predominantly by the other people, because they have 71% of the shares in it. Full ownership. What, they own 100% of the shares? Oh, wow. That's a lot of shares. If they own 100%, then they do own it. Yeah. Well, if they own 99% or 100%, then yeah, technically they own the company. Yeah. But 29% wouldn't do it. Yeah, but they're an investment company, not a game developer. You understand the difference there, right? They're just looking for a return on their investment. They own the game. Chinese Ingot. They were actually Korean, not Chinese, which is a different country. But yeah, they were East Asian. Yeah. Tencent. Well, if Tencent had complete control, why would they keep AO running? Because they may own all the shares, but they don't own all the IPs. That's a different thing. So the ownership of an IP is not the same as the ownership of a company. In the case of Star Wars, it is because George Lucas sold the IP. And we all kind of regret it, but there you go. But yeah. But the Norwegian government still owns part of the IP, which is why it would have been shut down in 2017 when it went into maintenance mode. But they couldn't shut it down because of the legal agreement they had with the Norwegian government. Andor's really good. Yeah, Mandalorian Season 1 and 2 is really good as well. Season 3 is a bit meh. It didn't need it. It was perfect, just Season 1 and 2. So we have to change the... Dude. The luxury armor purchase can be used on a Froob account. I think so. I don't think there's any paid account requirement on it. I've got this stuff, which you buy on Steam, luxurious tank armor. And the only requirement is that you have it. Yeah, so it can be used on Froob, yeah. When I binge it, yeah. Tell a lie, I've watched 2 episodes, but I need to find the time to just sit back and watch the rest. Yeah, for Froob, it's amazing. You know, you got NCU, treatment, ACs, and a ton of XP bonus, you know. There won't be an AO2. You're building a boat in a desert with AO2. And Funcom are the kind of company whereby whatever they're currently working on is their focus at the expense of all else. They've always been like that, though. As soon as they moved on from Anarchy Online to the next game, whichever game it was it Lego or Secret Worlds, whatever it was, suddenly AO was just, yeah, they just didn't care. Do you need Prisoner Daily? I've already done it, but thank you. The Conan Exiles, yeah, because when they started on the first Conan game or the Secret World, whichever way round it happened, and I don't know because I didn't really play any at the time. You know, we were laughing in AO land at people playing the game that we were kind of ousted for, suddenly realising that they weren't the focus anymore because Funcom were working on the next game, and it was very much the first time here meme. You know, with the noose around your neck. The title says Boheme, sort of. Healerson. Because there's no decent bows between this one that we've got and had since level 151 and the next one we want, which we technically could get on, but we don't have it, which is the Zan variant of Chaos. Yeah, as soon as June comes out, Tigress is locked to MP. It is, yeah, that's really annoying as well. Yeah, Dreadlock Tigress is locked to MP. Yeah, that's really effing annoying. But there you are. Right, we've done that. So the next one is Assault on the Anzi. But I am... Well, I'm poorly sick. I'm full of cold, if you couldn't tell by my voice. So I'm not staying up late streaming. And I do have work in the morning, so it's going to take a lot to do both. I've been poorly since Wednesday with a cold. And nothing major, just a cold. You know, you get shivers and aches and all that crap. The subway, new Temple of the Winds, Pyramid of Home. I think all those had been in the pipeline anyway. And I guess they just thought, oh, well, we'll just release them anyway. No, you need different Steam accounts to buy it. It's really weird. The way they set it up was you can buy that code, you can buy that armor set once on a Steam account, and then you can redeem that code on a Funcom account for the game, an Anarchy Online account. But you can't buy multiple copies of it on the same Steam account, which is just stupid if you have multiple bloody AO accounts, but you can't. You have to create a new Steam account, buy it again, and then use that code on, the next account, which is super annoying. Yeah, I mean, they all came out during the COVID lockdowns period, and maybe people did have more time in the Funcom offices to, get it done. But, yeah. If it wasn't janky, it wouldn't be AO, pretty much. Yeah. that's pretty much AO all over. Okay, let's see. Is anyone else streaming Anarchy Online? Probably not. They never normally use streaming Anarchy Online. Probably not. They never normally use streaming Anarchy Online. Probably not. Yeah, let's go there. Right, Stream Manager. Yeah, Anarchy Online. Me and Rubicar live feed and Frozen Balls. I can't remember who that is. I think they've changed their name. Nobody I know. Oh well, never mind. That sound loop. Yeah, I know. It's weird, isn't it? If there's a code, I can think about which accounts to use it on. Yeah, you just make a spoof Steam account and buy it again if you need it on more than one account. You should be able to buy it multiple times, though. I think that's kind of ridiculous that you can't, but that's how it is. All right, I'm going to end it there. I may stream again on Sunday, depends how I feel. If I feel recovered, I think the cold's on its way out, and if it is, then I'll stream again on Sunday. Maybe do something with Space Quest, because they were asking about that last week, but we couldn't seem to manage it for some reason. But until then, I'm going to leave it here. I know it hasn't been a very long stream, but like I say, I'm ill. So, yeah, it is what it is. But thanks all for coming along. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for resubbing. I'll be in Sevilla for the fair. See you around. You have a good time, my friend. Have a good time. Right. Thank you all. I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye for now.